What's up, everybody? Back for another beer review, and today I'm going to be reviewing a beer from Foam Brewers, and they are out of Burlington, Vermont, and this is their Like Clockwork. So this is a double IPA, comes in at 8.2% alcohol by volume, no IBUs listed, and at the time of this review, it's right around a month old, so still quite fresh. And I want to give a huge shout out to my buddy Sean for hooking me up with this beer. So thank you very much, buddy. If you guys want to check out the other beers that Sean threw my way, I'll post a link in the description box and you can give them a look if you want. If not, that's cool too. It's funny because I just did Julius from Treehouse and I shouted out Sean, but it was actually from my buddy Eric. Sometimes you make mistakes. I always make mistakes because I'm terrible at beer tubing and shouting people out. I'm an idiot. But anyway, so Foam Brewers, I've had a few beers from them in the past. I really like what they do. I don't know much about this beer other than it's 8.2% and it's a double IPA. That's all I know about it. Nothing else. Foam doesn't have a lot of information. There's one thing that I've learned from all of these beers from the New England region. A lot of them, they just can, and you can't really find a lot of information, but sometimes it makes it way more enjoyable because you don't go into it blind, but you kind of don't know what to expect because you don't know what hops they're using, you don't know the malts or anything like that, so it makes it kind of fun. Anyway, let's crack this open, give it a pour. I'm using my Bellwoods wine glass here. Has a little chip here in the back. I don't know if you guys can see that, but I'm not afraid, although, you know what, after I pour it, I'm going to not drink from that side. All right, so yeah, that pours out like your typical New England style IPA, albeit a bit brighter and lighter. Kind of looks like a hazy lemonade, or maybe like a non-pulpy orange juice. Has this like orange golden straw color to it. Had about a finger of a head. It is dissipating to a thin film here. Looks like kind of soapy bubbles, but whatever. Let's get a nose on it. Yeah, very jumpy, vibrant, like citrus and tropical fruit characters. Like a ruby red grapefruit. Bit of like a passion fruit thing going on as well. Smells like it's going to be acidic, honestly. But it smells more like straight up juice than anything else. There's like no dankness or any kind of resinous tones, and certainly no earthiness or pine characters. Yeah, pretty much ruby red grapefruit. Some of that passion fruit I was talking about. Maybe a little stone fruity thing going on, like more of a peach than an apricot. Yeah, not much more to say about it, so let's get into it. Cheers, and thanks again, Sean. And this time, Sean. All right, for real, Sean. This is a few days under a month old, so not quite a month old yet. But either this beer isn't all that pungent to begin with, or it's fallen off a bit. I highly doubt it. But right up front, there's a little bit of alcohol stringency at 8.2%. I've gotten that a few times over the past month, and I always mention it, and it seems to be like a huge surprise or something. You know, we're spoiled nowadays when beers are 8%. You can taste the alcohol. People are like, "Oh my God, what happened?" There used to be a time when beers were 7, 8%, and you tasted the alcohol and you expected it. But so many of these producers of beers in general nowadays, but when it comes to New England style, they hide it really, really well. First thing I will say though, 8.2%, it's a bit thin. It's kind of like lower side of medium bodied. The mouthfeel isn't as smooth and creamy as a lot of these New England style. Has more of a crispness to it. I wouldn't call it necessarily effervescent. I would say there is a spritzy carbonation there, but not too much. It doesn't have the mouthfeel that a lot of these beers do nowadays. The taste though, it's really nice, but it's just not blowing me over. There is more of that peach than anything in the taste. A little bit of peach, a little bit of passion fruit. I'm getting more of like tangerine vibes in the taste as opposed to like ruby red grapefruit and any kind of, you know, orange thing going on. Really no bitterness to speak of. This is more like straight on juice, more of a, you know, sweeter type of beer. As you can see, I have no problem putting this back. Absolutely nothing wrong with this. This is a good beer, but it's not blowing my socks off. It's not, you know, introducing anything new to me, or, you know, it's just not putting anything new on the table. Let's just say that. If you were to get a New England style double IPA, or they're from Vermont, so maybe they're called this a Vermont style double IPA. I don't think you'd be disappointed if you were to get this beer. At the same time, it's not introducing anything new. It's not really, you know, setting itself apart from the crowd. So good beer, but nothing, you know, too amazing. So I'm going to give it a 3.75 out of 5. Good beer, well made, nothing wrong with it. If there's anything that I would like to see improved upon, this would be knock down that alcohol astringency, bump up the body a bit, and you know, maybe make the flavors a little bit more in your face, because the 3 or 4 characters that are there, they're nice, but it's just very subtle. But anyway, that was Like Clockwork from Foam Brewers. Gets a 3.75 out of 5. Good beer, but you know, nothing to shout from the rooftop. So anyway, appreciate you guys stopping by. Please like, comment, and subscribe. And once again, I'd like to thank Sean. Let me just get this straight. Sean, not Eric, but Sean this time. And until the next time, cheers.